Rocky was in the corner of the room last night, curled so tight his nose was almost touching his tail. I'd seen him sleep like that 100 times, but that night something made me stop and actually look. He wasn't uncomfortable, he wasn't cold, he was making a decision. Dogs don't sleep carelessly. Every position they land in is the result of something their brain quietly calculated. How safe the room feels, who's nearby, what happened earlier that day. The problem is, most of us were never taught to read it, so we look at a sleeping dog and see something sweet. We miss the whole conversation. There are 6 sleeping positions worth understanding, not because they're cute, but because each one tells you something about your dog that they have no other way to say. The curl. Here's where almost every video on this topic gets it wrong. A dog curled into a tight ball, nose near tail, paws tucked under, body folded inward, gets labeled as anxious, insecure, closed off. That reading is almost always backwards. Behavioral assessments of dogs that sleep in the curl position tend to rate them as self-sufficient rather than anxious, a finding that runs counter to most owner assumptions. The position itself is ancient. Gray wolves in Yellowstone have been observed defaulting to this posture in open terrain, not in threat situations, but in rest. What the curl actually does, it protects the abdomen, vital organs, no thick fur covering them, no bone shielding the front. An animal that tucks everything inward while sleeping isn't panicking, it's being efficient. The body found the posture that lets it rest and stay intact at the same time. A dog that curls up on their own, away from you, in the middle of the room, that dog is fine. Self-contained. They don't need to press against a wall or find a human to feel okay. That's not distance. That's a dog who's settled. But here's what actually matters. If your dog used to sleep stretched out and has started curling more tightly over recent weeks, that shift is the signal. Not the curl itself. The change toward it. The back sleeper belly up, legs in the air, completely open. This one looks ridiculous, and it might be the most important thing you ever observe about your dog. The abdomen of a dog has almost no natural protection. No thick muscle layer on top, sparse fur, no bone underneath. For any animal whose ancestors spent thousands of years being both predator and prey, leaving that surface completely exposed required one thing: certainty. Not probably safe, certain. Research in veterinary behavioral science consistently links the belly-up position with lower arousal states. Studies on canine stress markers show that cortisol levels drop significantly when dogs are in postures associated with full physical relaxation. And no position requires more physical release than this one. The brain won't allow this position otherwise. It's not a choice the dog consciously makes. It's the nervous system reaching a conclusion. Nothing here is going to hurt me. When you see your dog on their back, paws loose in the air, that's not goofiness. That's the clearest signal a dog's body knows how to send. You're home passed every test. And if your dog has never slept this way, or used to and stopped, that's worth sitting with. The side sleeper legs loose, body completely flat on one side. Nothing held in. This is the only position where a dog can reach REM sleep. Not the deepest rest, the only real rest. The kind where the brain actually processes the day, consolidates memory, repairs itself. Matthew Wilson's lab at MIT ran a series of studies on sleep and memory consolidation, recording neural activity in mammals during REM sleep, and finding that the brain replays recent experiences during this stage. The same process applies to dogs. REM sleep is when the brain decides what to keep and what to discard from the day. For your dog, that means everything. The walk, the stranger at the door, the tone of your voice when you came home tired. When you see your dog twitching on their side, paws paddling, lips moving, a small sound escaping, that's not a bad dream. That's the brain doing its most important work, and it cannot happen unless the nervous system has fully stopped scanning for threats. A dog that rarely sleeps on their side isn't getting enough of this. That affects mood. It affects how quickly they startle. It affects how they respond to you the next morning. Most owners never connect those dots. If your dog sleeps on their side regularly, in the open, not tucked into a corner, their nervous system has made a decision about your home. It decided the place is safe enough to go completely offline. That's not nothing. That's everything you were trying to build when you brought them home. But here's what most people don't ask next. If the side position is the deepest rest, what does it mean when a dog can't get there? We'll get to that. But first, the one that looks like rest but isn't. The Superman belly flat. Front legs stretched forward, back legs straight out behind. You've seen this one. Usually in puppies. Usually right before they were supposed to be settling down for the night. This isn't deep sleep. A dog in this position can be on their feet in under a second. The hips aren't rotated. The core isn't released. The body is paused, not surrendered. It's a held position, the difference between resting and waiting. You see it most in younger dogs and high-drive breeds because there's a constant negotiation happening. The body needs to stop, but the brain hasn't agreed yet. The Superman is the compromise they land on. Rocky used to do this every single evening around 9 p.m., flat out on the kitchen floor, eyes half closed, but ears still moving at every sound from outside. He'd lie there for 20 minutes and then suddenly jump up like something had called him. He wasn't resting. He was stalling. If your dog lives in the Superman position, the honest answer is usually straightforward. They need more. More physical output, more mental engagement, more of whatever it is that actually empties the tank. When that changes, the sleep position changes with it. You'll see them start dropping into their side. The body finally gets permission to let go. One practical thing you can do today: add 10 minutes of scent work or structured problem solving before your dog's usual rest time. Not more running, more thinking. It's the mental load, not just the physical one, that gets them to the side position faster. Sleeping against you. Your dog has options: the floor, the other end of the couch, the bed in the corner of the room. They chose the spot where you are. Research from Azabu University in Kanagawa, Japan, published in 2015, later built upon in several canine bonding studies, found that mutual gazing between dogs and their owners triggered oxytocin release in both the human and the dog. The same bonding mechanism, the same chemical. Proximity during rest works along similar lines. Your presence isn't just comfort, it's a biological signal that the nervous system recognizes. When your dog presses against you to sleep, they're not looking for warmth. They're using you as a reference point. The brain checks. Is this person calm? Are they breathing normally? Is there tension in this body? And it calibrates accordingly. You are not incidental to your dog's rest. In many cases, you are the reason rest is possible at all. The head rest. Your dog isn't asleep yet. They're lying next to you, and they've placed their head on your leg, or your foot, or somewhere on your body that's warm and still. This one gets dismissed as affection-seeking. It's more specific than that. A dog's nose contains roughly 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have around 6 million. The part of a dog's brain dedicated to processing smell is proportionally about 40 times larger than ours. When your dog rests their head on you, they're placing that organ, the most powerful sensory tool they have, directly next to the person they've decided to trust most. They're not hoping you'll pet them. They're choosing your scent as the thing they want surrounding them while they fall asleep. Not the room, not the couch cushion. You, specifically. Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College has written extensively on canine olfaction and how dogs use scent to navigate social bonds. Her work suggests that a dog returning to a familiar human scent during rest isn't random comfort seeking, it's an active orientation toward safety. Your dog is using you as a compass, and they do it without making a sound. Facing away from you. This is the one that stings a little. Your dog settles into bed, gets comfortable, and turns their back to you. Nose toward the door, eyes facing the wall. The quiet thought that follows. Did they pick the room over me? Here's what's actually happening. The back is the most exposed surface on a dog's body. No eyes there, no nose, no way to monitor what's coming from that direction. Turning it towards something, or someone, means one thing in every predator-prey dynamic that has ever existed. I am certain this won't hurt me. Not probably. Certain. When your dog faces away from you in bed, they aren't choosing the room. They're covering it. You're the safe side. The side that doesn't need watching. They've already processed you, already ran the calculation, already came back with a clear answer. So they turn towards the door, toward the unknown, toward whatever might need monitoring, because you don't. That's not indifference. That's your dog standing guard while you sleep, back pressed against the one thing in the room they trust without question. They didn't turn away from you. They turned toward everything that isn't you, because you were already handled. If you've ever felt that small sting, let it go. That position is a compliment. It might be the quietest one they'll ever give you. When they can't stay still. A dog that resettles frequently through the night, shifting, adjusting, never quite landing, isn't sleeping deeply. Each movement is the nervous system pulling back from a deeper stage. Something kept it from fully switching off. It could be physical. Joint discomfort in older dogs often shows up here before it shows up anywhere else. A dog that used to sleep through the night and now can't find a position. But it can also be environmental. A house that's too loud, too unpredictable, or where the dog hasn't quite decided whether things are stable enough to fully let go. Studies in veterinary sleep research have found that dogs in chronic low-level stress environments spend significantly less time in slow-wave and REM sleep than dogs rated as secure by behavioral assessments. Less deep sleep means slower emotional recovery. It compounds quietly, day after day. Watch for the change, not just the behavior. A dog that suddenly starts moving more at night when they didn't before. Something shifted. That's worth paying attention to. And a dog that finds one position and stays, that dog made a decision. Everything checked out. Whoever is nearby got approved. The room passed. You passed. Most of them just never get the chance to tell you. So next time your dog falls asleep, look at where they landed, what they chose, who they chose to be near. They've been communicating this whole time, you just needed the translation. Which position does your dog sleep in most? I'm genuinely curious. Drop it in the comments. I read them.